Hello. I am here finally. I apologize if you are trying to follow or find me via my previous link. That didn't work, so I'm doing this little live stream here. Welcome. If you have found me, I'm very excited to be doing my first live stream, and apologies to those of you trying to find me because I know there's a few of you. Okay, it looks like one person's here at least, so I will start. I am Katie Roberts. I am an artist and live in Melbourne, Australia. I am a practicing artist of 35 years. Well, that's hard to believe. 30 years? I don't know. Time, yeah, it's all a little abstract. So I'm here in my beautiful studio. It's been raining for days, but it's now beautiful and clear in the garden out there. And today we're going to be drawing teacups. I've got a selection here of my favorite teacups. If you would like to draw along, please do. I'm just going to send a new link to a couple of people, and hopefully they will find me. Okay, now if you would like to join in and draw along, all you will need is a pencil. HB or 2B or 4B will do, just a grey lead or graphite pencil, and some paper. I'm using a big journal that I have here. And if you would like to, one of the best things you can do for your art practice is to buy a journal, A3 or A4 size, any sort that you like, that you can carry around with you and draw in on a regular basis. It's the single best thing you can do to improve your art. I am very excited that you are here. If you are, if not, I hope you get to watch this back later. I have lots of knowledge to share with you, and I run a bunch of classes that if you would like to know more about, please feel free to email me or comment below, and I will provide any information you like. So if you would like to also join, I have a class on directly after this, which is just a casual drawing class via a Google chat. But let's get on with drawing. So we have these beautiful teacups. Hopefully you have a teacup. I've got mine here. If you've got a cup of tea or a drink, I suggest having a sip. And taking a moment to just be present in your body and take a deep breath and relax. This will just be a 10-minute drawing, so there's no stress about this at all. It's just a nice loose drawing where we start thinking about structure and form, and we start getting the hang of just observation. Observation is the key to drawing. So let's take one of these forms. I'm choosing the simplest, just to this beautiful cup with a fairy wren on it, which is in fact just been, I think, has won as the bird of the year in Australia. Superb blue fairy wren. I won't advertise this cup, but you know, they're beautiful if you do want one. And the first thing, we're going to be distracted by all this gorgeous decorative stuff, and today we don't have time to draw that. You can do that in your own time afterwards if you have a decorative cup. But the first thing that you want to think about is the structure of the cup. Now, structure is not something that everyone is familiar with in art, but it is a key to drawing things accurately and getting the proportions right and understanding the form. It's a something I am really passionate about and really enjoy teaching, and I find really easy to understand, but a lot of people really struggle with it. It takes a kind of more technical drawing approach than an intuitive one. Uh, there are things about the form that not the way that a lot of people think that they are. We'll go into that in more depth in other classes, but today I'm just going to introduce you to the main principles for drawing a structure like this. So this is basically, if we look at the form, it's a cylindrical structure. So a cylinder and a handle, which is a separate matter altogether. We'll look at that separately. And fortunately, this cup has straight sides, so that makes it easier. If you're drawing a cup with straight sides, that's really helpful. If you've got a more challenging cup, maybe you're up for a challenge, a cup like this with a saucer, the exact same principles apply that I'll be showing you, but it's a little more complicated. And my son gave me this extraordinary cup. I'm scared of breaking it. And this one has a gorgeous form. Hello, Louise, you found me. Well done. Sorry, the other link wouldn't work. Hopefully other people will find us. So we are drawing a teacup and just doing a nice loose drawing, but also looking at structure. So if you have a teacup or a glass or a jar or anything cylindrical, this little lesson will help you with that. I feel like drawing something more complicated, so I might draw this one. But I suggest a simple cylindrical form with straight sides. If you've got one in front of you, that will be helpful. If you want to draw along, otherwise just watch. And you can draw your teacup later. All right. Here is my rudimentary setup. Just going to be doing it this way. I'll be tilting the camera so you can see my drawing page and then lifting it up so you can see what I'm drawing. So you won't be in a view of both at once on this platform. You do in my classes, but not here. So let us begin. So I'll get you on a reasonable angle. I hope that works. Let me know if there are any issues. So the thing about a cylindrical form is that to measure it, you need, especially with a more complex form like this one, you need something constant. And the sides of a cylindrical form like this wave in and out, so it's a very hard thing to measure. The thing that you can measure by is what we call a central axis. And it's an imaginary line that runs through the center of the cylinder. And this is absolutely crucial to drawing any cylindrical form. So that's what I'm going to start with. I've got to get a good angle on this. This is going to be a bit tricky, but I'm going to hold the cup so you can see it at the same time, but you won't see the same angle as I am. So let's just start by checking in with the body, making sure shoulders are relaxed and drawing. I'm going to do this a little bit darker than I would normally so that you can see it, drawing that central axis through the middle. These are called structural lines. They're lines that you might erase later on. And then a crosshair that goes through horizontally through that ellipse. Now you can just watch along, and I explain more about this in my other classes, but what I'm doing now is swinging the ellipse, which is to create a even, beautiful cylindrical opening at the top. An ellipse form that describes the opening of the top of the cup. Hopefully you can all see that. I'm doing it quite large. I'll just go a bit darker so that you can see it. But when you're drawing this, draw it nice and sketchy. Now that's the opening of my cup here. And what you will obviously have worked out is that along the axis runs all the other ellipses that I'll need to draw. If I was drawing a cup like this, even though I can't see through it, I would draw an ellipse describing the bottom of the cup as well as the top. And I'm going to do the same, imagining that the cup is see-through. I am going to do a crosshair for there, that little waistline of the cup, and another crosshair through the ellipse at the bottom. You do not have to do all of this. This is a little bit more advanced than I was thinking I would talk about. But there you go. I can't help it. I always disseminate more information than I mean to. Just generous like that, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to draw without talking too much, and hopefully you can work out what I'm doing along the way. I've only got a little bit more time. So what I will describe it, I'm working out the width of all these ellipses. So the waist is quite narrow. The foot, we'll call it, is a little bit wider. And now I've got ellipses, nearly all the ellipses I need. All I have to do is join up the form. And I'll do that by making a curved line on one side before I do the other. And then I try to match that on the other side. I'm in a slight angle here, so a little bit hard to tell. Just do my best, which is always good policy. Try not to stress about it. There we go. And noticing that the bottom of the cup flares out. So here we go, flaring that base. And we have the general shape of the cup. How very exciting. Just doing a little time check. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. Now, when it comes to the handle, it's a little more complicated, but I'm just going to draw it in. I'll explain that another time. I'm going to pop a structural form in that gives me a bit of a guide for the handle. Thinking about where it joins. Often what's really helpful is to think about how it's manufactured, how it's handmade in this case. Have an eraser to hand. The great thing about drawing is there's no mistakes in art. There's just things to learn from. And drawing, you can always erase. So there is my basic structure for the cup. And now if I wanted to add colour, how could you not want to add colour if you're drawing a cup like this? Or tone, which is usually described as value in America. Tone or colour, I can erase those structural lines. You can leave them showing through if you like. I love to do that. If it was good enough for Leonardo da Vinci, it's good enough for me, and he included all of his structural lines in his drawings, which are really very beautiful, I think. So there we have the basic structure for my teacup. Just if you wanted to spend more time on it, you could spend time really thinking about the lip and the edge of the lip and the width of that lip, and the way it curves out in my case is quite interesting. If I was to want to put decorative elements in it, I would need to divide that section to make sure those elements were balanced. I don't think I've got time for that today, but it's very tempting. I might work on that and post it somewhere so that you can see it sometime. So how did you go? Did you draw a cup? Did you learn something from that little exercise? I hope so. If you would like to, I have a drawing session that runs from 3 till 4 today over on Google Meet. If you're on my email list, you would have received a link for that, and I think it's pretty affordable. I'm going to be running them for the next Saturdays for a month, and I think I'll do these live streams too for the next few Saturdays and see how it goes. I might improve some of the technological aspects so that it runs on time, and perhaps so you can see a bit more of what I'm doing. But I'm really glad to have presented my first little live stream. I hope that was fun for you, and I look forward to seeing you in another one if you can come along. And yeah, if you want to see what I've been working on, I've got some secret projects here. Oh, thanks, Lou. Um, I That's really kind of you. Thanks for your comment. If you would like to join my mailing list, my email address is katierobertsart, KatieRobertsart @gmail.com. And I've got lots of classes, well, 2 or 3 classes happening at the moment. So it would be lovely to have anyone else join who wants to. The 3 classes I have are these little live streams, and Saturday sessions, which are a casual class that run from 3 till 4 and are just 25 bucks. And next week starts the drawing studio, next week or the week after, if I'm still getting the numbers. And that's a really in-depth drawing class where we really look at structure and tone and composition and all sorts of cool stuff. It's, yeah, as I say, it's quite in depth. It's going to be both online and recorded and notes and all sorts. So it's really worth doing if you really want to get more knowledge when it comes to drawing. And it's good for at this stage for beginners because I'm starting at the beginning, or those with experience, either way. So on that note, please email me if you'd like more information. I don't want to rabble on about my classes. I hope you like being in my studio. I'll just share the view out the window again, my herb courtyard. We got some plants delivered today, so I'll be getting into the garden and making my drawing from nature spring season as well, which is another course I'm working on. So I hope you've got something from that. Happy drawing. Don't forget, grab a cup of tea. It's a great time to draw is with a cup of tea. Instead of looking at your phone, put that down. Not right now because you're watching me, but put that down and pick up a pencil and a journal and have a bit of relaxation and fun and learning. All right, lots of love. Thanks for being here. Where do I end it? There we go. Bye.